Namaskar, this is Dada Rainjitananda. Welcome to our webinar. Today is the third class of the meditation course. As usual, you can communicate with me through the questions window. You can type your questions and I kind of follow it during the webinar. If there is some question related to the topic that I'm addressing, I might reply on the spot. Otherwise, all the questions remain for the end. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the 5 layers of mind. It's a good topic so that you can have an idea of the mind, how it works, and what's the scope of meditation. Then we'll do a brief meditation practice. Then I'm going to introduce the topic of asteya, which is one of the points of dhyana. It means not to take anything that belongs to others without permission. And then we'll have the time for questions and answers. Just one point before I continue, I will advise that you connect a few minutes before the webinar starts, because it always takes a little for the computer to get connected. So if you start at least 5 minutes before, then we are sure to start at the right time and everybody will be present. Okay, so the first thing is I want to ask you a question. And the question is, if you have been practicing meditation. I will usually ask this question just so that we know how we are progressing, how things are going, and how you are experiencing. Because the course is not only the theory that we talk here, it's also the time you spend doing the daily practices. Then you will really experience something after the course. Okay, most of the people have voted. I'm on 78%. I could wait a little bit to get more than 80, but let's stop now. Share the results. All right, have you practiced meditation regularly during the week from the previous class to this class? 63% of you said yes, twice a day, every day, and that's really nice. 25% yes, every day, at least once a day. That's also very nice. And only 13% of you said only a few days, which is okay in the beginning, but let's make an effort to catch up so that we can really get the maximum benefit from the course. If you practice regularly what we are going through during the class, I'm sure you get a lot of benefit. Then let's go to our topic of today, the 5 layers of the mind. And that is based on a philosophical point of our main book of philosophy, which is called the Ananda Sutram. It's divided in various chapters. The 3rd chapter is about the mind. And this book has verses in Sanskrit. So the first verse of the 3rd chapter is talking about the mind. And the translation is like this. The living being is composed of 5 kosha. Kosha means a layer of the mind. So 5 layers of the mind, just like a banana flower with its petals. So what is the meaning here? Those of you who know how a banana flower looks like, which is also in the picture, it has petals that as you remove the outer petal, then you will see the inner petal. And then you remove again, you see another one inside, and you remove again, there is another one. So in the same way, our mind has these layers And we are not always conscious of all the layers because one layer is covering the other one. And it's only when you can calm down that layer, then you can penetrate the next layer, then you perceive that there are all these layers. Let's see which layers are those. The first one, which is the most external, all right, we have the physical body. We can even say it's a layer of our existence, the physical body. But then you go to the mind, and the first layer is the layer connected to the physical body, is the conscious mind, and it is connected to the senses and to the motor organs. It means it receives the stimulus from the external world and it acts in the world. So we have 5 sensory organs, 5 motor organs, and this layer is the Kamamaya Kosha. For example, you see something, and then maybe a car is coming towards you, you see it, you get that input, then you act, you move out of the way. So you use your legs, motor organs to move yourself out of the way. So that's the work of the conscious mind. Just, let's say, underneath the conscious mind is the subconscious mind. The subconscious is that part of the mind that's thinking more deeply with the intellect. It's analyzing, it is kind of rational, it listens, learns, thinks, and dreams, and that's the subconscious mind. In Sanskrit, we call it also the Manomaya Kosha, or the mental layer. And I will give an example so that you can understand the functioning of these two, conscious and subconscious, and you can see the separation of the two. Imagine that I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking very deeply about something, and somebody in the room calls me, but I don't hear. And why that is happening? It is because at that moment I'm using my intellect, thinking very deeply, so I'm engaged in the subconscious mind. And the person is calling me, the sound is coming to my ears, but the ears are connected with the conscious mind. And but I am, let's say, concentrated that moment in the subconscious, so I don't hear it. And then after some time, the sound is coming, maybe it attracts my mind back to the conscious, and I say, hey, yes, yes. And that is to show the functioning of the subconscious, the functioning of the conscious. The subconscious is also related to dream. Most dreams, maybe not all dreams, some dreams are deeper, but most dreams happen in the subconscious mind. When the conscious mind is suspended, because I'm sleeping, the conscious mind gets suspended, but the subconscious gets active, then I have a dream. If the subconscious also gets relaxed and suspended, then I have deep sleep. I go to a deeper layer of the mind. We'll talk in a few moments. But that's kind of the function of the conscious and the function of the subconscious. And most people, their life is a play between the conscious and the subconscious. It means they are living in those two layers of mind. And for them, that's the whole existence. They don't know anything else but the conscious and subconscious parts of the mind. But that's not everything of the mind. There are deeper layers. So the third layer, I'm calling it here supramental, means beyond the mental. And the capacity of this layer of the mind is what we call intuition. Intuition here It's not just like a feeling, it's something deeper. It's a different interpretation of intuition here. Let me give you an example. For example, when Newton was sitting under the tree and he saw the apple fall on the ground and he came up with the theory of gravitation, that was not a fruit of his intellect. It is not that he was thinking about that and then he concluded that. No, it kind of came to him in a flash or in a moment that is the work of this intuition. And that's the work of this deeper layer of the mind, the supramental. It is a synthetic, not analytical. It means the idea comes at once, you just understand it. It's intuitive, it's brilliant, genius, and it discovers, creates, and it's also artistic. Many artists or musicians, when they are composing or when they are painting, they say and they feel that they are in a different world. It's actually not a different world, they are just in a different layer of their own mind, which perceives the world in a different way. And that's where this artistic capacity and this genius comes from the third layer of the mind. And every human being has this, so we all have this potential within us as long as we develop. Some people have it naturally from birth, let's say, but some people can develop it by practicing it, by making oneself more developed. So that's the third layer of the mind, the supramental mind. But it doesn't stop there. This layer has a lot of capacity, and people using this layer are very special people, but still there is more within our own mind. The next layer is what is called the layer of special knowledge, also called subliminal layer. The thing about all these terms is that they are some places used in a different way, so that's why it makes it difficult to understand. But I kept this layer of special knowledge. It gives a deeper knowledge. What is this special knowledge? It's discernment. It means you can know from what you have to do, what you should do, or what you should not do. You know what will bring you elevation, like spiritual elevation, and what will bring you down. And another special knowledge of this layer is what is a certain detachment. Detachment here is related to being able to deal with things without attachment. In that way, we can use everything in the proper way. Attachment prevents us from giving proper use to objects and also to have proper relation with people. For example, if a mother is too attached to a son, that mother may prevent the son from having some experiences in life, from developing himself, and that is because of too much attachment. If that mother can have certain detachment, even though there is love, but can encourage and let the son explore the world and learn and become self-sufficient. So that's about attachment and detachment. And discernment, the other special knowledge, is that one that gives us the capacity to decide what's right in our life and what is wrong. And different individuals in history have used these layers of the mind. For example, the third layer of the mind, many geniuses, many artists, they had the capacity to utilize that layer of the mind. While this fourth layer is even deeper than that. It means that person using this fourth layer will have all those capacities, but will have a capacity, let's say, to guide society, to advise people what they should do in their life. And there are some great people in our history who became, let's say, like prophets and saints and so on, who had access to this layer of the mind. And with this layer of the mind, they could guide people in their own lives on what is better for them to do in their own lives. So that is the fourth layer of the mind, and it's called Vijnanamaya. Gyan means knowledge, Vigyan means special knowledge. So the layer made of special knowledge. And that's the fourth layer of the mind. One thing about these layers of the mind is that each one is more expanded than the other one. Let's say that the conscious, let's say, is this dimension, the subconscious will be like this, and the supramental will be like this, and the special knowledge will be like that. So they go on expanding. This idea of expansion means also that what you experience in that layer of the mind that's more expanded is more intense, more vibrant, more deeper. As an example, when someone is dreaming, many times in dream stage, the experience is much deeper than in awakened stage. So somebody is awakened, has an experience, okay, but if one has that experience in the dream, it's like much more intense. Why? Because the layer where the dream is happening is the subconscious. The subconscious is not limited by the senses and the motor organs. So it's more free, more expanded. Therefore, experiencing something in the subconscious is more intense than experiencing the conscious. In the same way, if someone experiences in the third level of the mind, like that's why artists, they go in some kind of trance that they really feel in another dimension. Even athletes competing, they kind of also go into a deeper layer of the mind and they experience everything more intense than in the subconscious or the conscious. Therefore, people want to remain in that state of mind. And the fourth layer is even deeper. That's why people who are going to that layer, they remain some, let's say, transcendental state and experiencing within, and they don't really want to go back to the lower, or let's say external stages of the mind. They really experience something inside that they want to keep it. So we have reached to the fourth layer of the mind. Now we go to the fifth. The fifth layer is very subtle. In fact, it's called subtle causal mind. It's the cause of the mind. It's like the base or the foundation of the mind. To understand this layer, we have to peel out the other ones. We have to go deeper than the conscious, into the subconscious, and into the supramental, into the subliminal. Then we can experience the expansion of this fifth layer of the mind. And this layer is like the limit or the line between the limited individual and the unlimited. You know, it's kind of very near that border. Therefore, it is really a very deep experience of, let's say, so much peace and so much stability and tranquility if we can reach to this layer. And you can understand that if you can make the mind silent, it means you can absorb everything. You can really learn by being able to pause or to bring the mind to a state of tranquility that is very deep. If the mind is very agitated, it's very difficult to perceive, to understand the reality, the world, the life. But if you can bring the mind to this stage, then you can really understand the existence and what we are to do in this world, in this life. So that's a very subtle layer, and it's also called the golden layer. And it's a layer where one experiences deep peace and tranquility. So these are the 5 layers of the mind. I have in this slide all the 5 layers just to kind of give you an overview of the mind and where we are aiming with our meditation. We want to calm down the superficial layers of the mind so that the next layer opens up. The example I like to give is, imagine if you are in the ocean and the surface of the ocean is very agitated and the water is not very clear. When you look at it, you just see the surface and you think that's all that exists. But once that water is very calm and is very clear, you look, you can see fish, you can see colors, plants, and lots of things. It's like it starts existing, but it has always been there. So in the same way, when we can calm down the surface of our mind, then we penetrate in the next layer, we see some new life. And then if we penetrate the other layer, it's again a new world for us. So it's a very interesting journey through the layers of our mind. The most external is the conscious. You are acting, listening, talking, all that is in the conscious mind. The subconscious, thinking deeply, analyzing, memorizing, dreaming. Supramental, creativity, music, art, genius. Subliminal or special knowledge, that special knowledge, what to do in life. We are here in this life, what to do. That clarification or that discernment, and at the same time a certain detachment for the physicalities and other vibrations. And finally, the 5th layer, the causal mind, the subtle mind, just the cause of the mind, the underlying layer of silence and peace and tranquility. And that's the idea that with the practice of meditation, we could experience the mind in its totality. But it is not an instant journey. It's a journey that can take our life, the whole life to go through. But as you go deeper into your mind, or as we go deep into our mind, it gives us also a new view of the world. And that's why I brought this topic. It's an introduction to the topic, but it gives you an idea of where we are going with the meditation. All right. Now, we come to the moment that we do practice a little bit meditation during the class. We do meditation with a universal mantra. The universal mantra that we are using during the course is this Baba Nam Kevalam. It's a Sanskrit phrase, and a meaning that I'm giving now, because the meaning, the translations can be different, but the translation I'm giving now is that everything is cosmic consciousness. It means that we will be closing our eyes, and at the moment we close our eyes, we don't want to think anymore that there is a computer in front of me, there is a room, there are walls. I want to forget all that and just feel that whatever is around me is that peaceful, infinite cosmic consciousness, which is something abstract for now, but we'll remain with that abstract for now, and let's see how it develops as we go through the course. I'm going to use again the guitar, and I'm going to sing it. Then you can listen to it, or you can sing with me. Then I will remain in silence. When we are in silence, continue repeating the mantra. You can continue singing, or you just say the sentence, Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba is the cosmic consciousness. Nam is all around us. Kevalam, only that, nothing else. That is, and you can continue. If any other thought comes to your mind, just think about the mantra, let the thought go away. Even if it's a very good, nice thing, you don't think about it, think about the mantra. And we'll do it 2 times like that. So just let's close our eyes, sit straight on our chairs or floor, wherever you are. Close your eyes. And you are sitting in that room. The room where you are is in a building. Building is in a town, maybe in the countryside, wherever you are. It's in a country. You are in a certain country. That country is in the planet Earth. You are actually sitting down on the planet Earth. A very peaceful environment, surrounded by stars and the universe. And as you close your eyes, you only feel Bhavanam, Kevalam, 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 Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam. Bhavanam Kevalam. Continue thinking about the mantra for a few moments. Bhavanam Bhavanam Kevalam, 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 Bhavanam Kevalam. And continue meditating with the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam. Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam. slowly come back to your place where you are now, and you can open your eyes. And that was our brief meditation practice for this class. And I can ask you a question. How do you feel after this brief meditation? Let's see how it's going. Okay, I got about 60% of you have replied. Okay, 75 now. I just wait a little bit and then I will share the results with you. Okay, okay, these are the results. How do you feel after this brief meditation? And 56% of you feel much more peaceful and relaxed than before. 33% more peaceful and relaxed than before. That makes already for 89%, and only 11% just a little bit more peaceful and relaxed than before. It seems everyone felt some benefit. 0% said the same as before. So that's nice. And it encourages to practice every day, at least. We didn't do more than 5 minutes this whole brief practice here. So 5 minutes, if you can do every day in the morning and in the evening, will make a big difference. And you will really get the maximum benefit of the course. But if you are somebody who practices longer meditation, continue practicing your longer meditation. Make sure you practice twice a day to get the maximum benefit. And if you are practicing only once, then the second time you do just the 5 minutes, the way we did here. When you are doing, you will not have me guiding, you will not have the musical instruments or anything. You just can sit there and repeat the mantra mentally. Or you can sing it mentally, whatever comes better for you. Some people ask if they can have some recording and listen to the mantra. You could in the beginning, but it's always good to do it actively. It means you are actively repeating the mantra, not just listening to it. This much about our brief practice. Now the second part of the class is about jhana. Jhana are those practices that calm the conscious mind. You know, our first enemy here is the conscious mind. And it doesn't really allow us to go deep within, so we need to keep it calm. And the conscious mind, what does it do? All these external things that we are doing, thinking, acting during the day, when we close our eyes, they go to the subconscious and keep the subconscious very active. So if we calm down the conscious, nothing will go to the subconscious. So when we close our eyes, we can really start going deep. So those are the points of jhana, or the practices of jhana. And jhana refers to something external to us, is whatever we are doing during the day that relates to something outside, some entity outside. It's the external expressions of our mind. We saw one point last time, we'll see another one today. Oh, we already saw 2 points, actually, the first class and second class. This is the third one, is called asteya in Sanskrit. It means not to take anything from others without their permission, or not to steal anything. If we are thinking how I can get that thing that belongs to that person and becomes mine, it means my object of ideation will be that object. And I can't meditate. When I close my eyes to meditate, I will be seeing that all the time. And if I do take the thing, then I have to think how to hide it, how to avoid it, that I get discovered. It creates a whole universe of vibrations in the mind, and one cannot meditate. So asteya is very important. Plus, it will create harmony in the society. If asteya is followed by everybody, society will be much different. So it's a very important point. We start from ourselves, and then it should catch and spread to other people. So this is a very important point. We have to think that we are doing it for our benefit and for social benefit also. The best is if you don't even have the desire to get something from others. You don't have to fight it. Oh, I want it. No, it's not right. I shouldn't do that, like that. So it's even not having the desire is like you are really establishing the asteya. But fighting against it, you are practicing it. So let's practice it consciously. It means whenever I'm interacting with anybody, I should be conscious what is their right, what is my right, what belongs to them, what belongs to me. And this point is very subtle also. For example, you can think that parents should give time to their children. And that is the right of the children to get time from the parents. If the parents are doing other things instead of giving time to the children, they are preventing the children from their right. Therefore, they are stealing that time from the children, and so that's against asteya. So you see, it's not so black and white that this not stealing means I'm not taking this physical object, because today human beings are very much psychic. So we have to be very attentive to the psychic level besides just the physical level. All right, I'm moving now to the conclusion. We'll go through a summary, and then we have time for your questions. So you can think already about what questions you want to ask, what points you want to ask about, and you can start typing it as I come to the conclusion here. The final summary: what did we look at, or what have we seen, what have we covered so far? We covered mantra. Understand the effects of mantra, the importance of mantra. Then we also covered Ashtanga yoga. Understand the scope of yoga, how vast the practice of yoga is, so we don't continue thinking that yoga is just some exercises. It's something very vast, and the exercise is just the tip of the iceberg, which is important to maintain the physical body in good shape and everything, but you want to keep the body in good shape to do something. Otherwise, you are just keeping it in good shape. Imagine you have a car, and you're always cleaning it, and you have it in the garage, and you polish it, you maintain it very beautiful, it's so nice, but you never use it to go anywhere. It's useless. So in the same way, we don't want to be doing all these physical postures to keep our body nice, but we are going nowhere. We have to move, so we have to do the meditation. That's the movement. That is what Ashtanga Yoga, knowing about Ashtanga Yoga gives us perspective of what yoga is. And then we talked about the 5 layers of the mind today, which gives a perspective of what the mind is, because we tend to think the mind is just one simple thing, but mind is much more complex than the body. The body, let's say somebody studies medicine, 5, 6 years of studies, 4 years of internship, 3 years learning about the physical body. But imagine to learn about the mind. It's much more complex than the body. In fact, it controls the body. So we need much more dedication and concentration to understand the mind. So that's the 5 layers of the mind. We also, in the first class, we talked about ahimsa, not to harm any other entity. We also talked about satya in the second class. Whenever we are relating through words with other entities, we should think of the welfare of the other being. And now number 3, asteya, not to steal anything, not to take anything from others. That's so far what we have seen during this course. And I will just ask you a question now. Let's see. Okay, I think I have asked this question before, but let me ask you again how it's going with ahimsa. If you are making efforts to practice it in your daily life. Let's see how it's going. Okay, I'm getting over 60% voting so far. Can give a moment more people can. These questions is more so that I get a feeling of how the course is going, where I should concentrate. All right, so I think that's enough for now. Let's close it and share it. Here is the answer. 57% of you say yes always. That's really nice. And 42% yes. Remember about it sometimes. That's also great. And 0 for the rest. So I think it's going well so far. All right. So final review here. What is the practice for the week? Meditation every morning. If you do long meditation, do your long meditation. If not, at least 5 minutes with the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. Think about the point of asteya. Are you taking anything from other people without their permission? And avoid that. And a final meditation before your dinner or before sleep. If you do it long, do it long. If it's not, at least do 5 minutes. So that's what we can do during the week. Now questions and answers. And I can see here the windows of the questions. You can type them. Okay, here comes the first question. Is it okay to drink water before meditation? Yes, it's okay. It's good even. And it's very important to drink enough water during the day. If you can drink even 4 liters or a gallon of water a day, it's very good. Do drink before meditation. That's perfectly all right. You shouldn't eat before meditation because then the energy is going for the digestion. But if you drink, it's not a problem. Drink water. Don't drink juice, because if you drink juice, then again, the digestion is needed and the energy goes there. So drink enough water. You can drink before meditation, no problem. The next question here, can one practice meditation more than twice a day? Sure, one can practice more than twice a day, it's not a problem. If the 4 best times to practice are the morning hours, noon hours, then afternoon, like sunset, or depends on the country where you live, the sunset may be very late or very early. So let's say before dinner as a reference, and before sleep, so you have 4 good times for meditation. If you practice twice, you can choose 2 of those good times. If you want to practice 4 times, you can practice 4 times to get more benefit. But I'm not asking that on the course. The course is only twice. You can practice twice. Okay. It's a question here also. Should we also practice asanas twice? You can, yes, it's good to practice asanas also twice. When you do meditation, when you finish the meditation, let's say you also practice asanas. In the evening, maybe you can practice asanas before the meditation or after the meditation. So you can combine your meditation practice with the asana practice and you get more benefit. Because asanas will make your meditation better. So if you practice twice, it's okay. You don't need to practice too much. Like people usually go to yoga class and they practice 1.5 hours of asanas. That's in excess. You could even practice 15 minutes, just choose a few asanas, but you are doing every day twice. Instead of 1.5 hours twice a week, you are doing 15 minutes twice a day. So you will get a lot of benefit out of that. Okay. Does meditation work when you are not able to let go all attachments? How can I better let go the attachments? Well, you do the meditation, don't think about the attachments, just think about doing the meditation. If you do the meditation, automatically your mind will be changing, and then you may be giving up the attachments. So don't think about giving up the attachments, because if you think about that, it means you are thinking about the attachments, even if you are thinking about to give them up. So don't think about that. Think about doing the meditation. Do the meditation very regularly, every day, twice, and the results will come. It's like going to the gym. You exercise your body every day, the strength comes. So when you have strength, then it's easy to do physical activities. So you are not thinking directly about doing the activity and then you cannot do it. No, you are going to the gym, make your body strong, and then it becomes easy. In the same way, you are doing the meditation very regularly, your mind is becoming, let's say, strong, then you can deal with other difficulties. So concentrate on the meditation. All right. There is a question here. Is Kaushiki necessary? Okay, maybe not everybody who is attending knows what this Kaushiki is. Kaushiki is a practice, let's say psychophysical. It's like an exercise or an asana, moving as a dance. So it's a combination of a dance with an asana. If it's necessary, I would say that it's good if you know it, and so practice it, because you get many benefits of it. If you don't know it, you can eventually come to know it, and then you practice it. The idea here is, the moment we learn something, we put it into practice. And then we learn something more, we put into practice. And in that way, we are getting the maximum benefit. Okay. I don't see any further questions. Let me see if anything, no more questions. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to end today's presentation. Thank you very much for participating. Hope to see you next week. If you can come to the live class, it's better. If you cannot, you will get a video. The video is coming from the link I will send from our email address, webinars@pathofbliss.com, so look for it. And to keep a connection, our webpage is pathofbliss.com, Facebook page is POB, means Path of Bliss, POB Meditation. My web page is dadas.info, and that's my YouTube channel. If you search with my name on YouTube, anyway, you'll find it, and there are different videos there. Thank you for attending this webinar. Namaskar.